Hey friends, it's V. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a while and I missed you guys so much. So today's video is going to be about manifestation and creation. I've had a lot of clarity on this and I want to bring that clarity to you because this is extremely important to understand. Okay? This is a game changer. When you understand the concept of what manifestation or creation actually is, you'll have that aha moment and things just make sense. And I feel like there is a lot of misinformation going around right now in regards to the manifestation community. Actually, I think it kind of just recently blew up. The past few years that I've been into manifestation and stuff like that, it wasn't that well known. I knew two people who were talking about manifestation on YouTube, and then all of a sudden everyone is talking about it. I feel like some people that are putting the content out there, they're just trying to spread awareness of it versus actually trying to help people understand of what it means to create or manifest. And we're going to be talking about that because, well, you guys don't really know much about my history with spirituality or the law of attraction, etc., because I've been keeping that quite on the hush-hush side. But for reference, I have been a spiritual. I've been basically like a psychic medium since I was born. I've always had an awareness of things, of how things work, stuff like that, which didn't really fit into the law of assumption community. This is why it took me a really long time to understand the concept of manifesting, because I come from the background where, okay, we have spirit guides, we have angels, and if you don't believe in that, keep listening because this will tie in. This doesn't matter what your belief system is. What I'm going to be talking about is the fundamentals of how the universe works, of how the laws on earth work. So regardless if you're an atheist or if you're Christian or Buddhist or whatever, if you're just a science freak, you're a nerd. Science freak. You're just a science nerd and you don't believe in angels and guides and whatever. It doesn't really matter. The point is, I'm going to be talking about what manifestation actually is. But I'm just talking about my background and why it was difficult for me to understand the concept of it. So you can kind of understand where I'm coming from and see how it all goes together no matter what the belief is. This is really important to understand because you'll be able to tie in your own belief system into being able to create. I don't really like that word and I'll tell you why later, but create, manifest exactly what you want. On a side note, sometimes I go on a rant I get so off topic and I'm really trying to just be myself and not edit my videos. So if it's taken too long, you can just put it on fast forward. I do that with other people's videos all the time because I just want to be more authentic and not edit out what I'm saying, because this is also good for you to know in your own life. The very first thing, like the first thing that you say and your first thoughts are they're the most important, because every time you stop and retract and think about it, you're diluting it, you're filtering your own thoughts, and it's just let it come out naturally. You don't need to keep filtering yourself out or retracting what you're saying. Just say what you need to say. Someone needs to hear it. That's the reason you're telling your message and being forward. And same with decisions. Usually the first thing that comes to your mind is the right thing for you. So I'm going on a rant right now. Apologies. So back to what I was saying about manifestation and creation. That is going to be this might be a longer video because we're going to get right down to the nitty gritty of everything and how I came across it, etc. Just like a little background, not a lot. But my background is there's a divine plan and I'm trying to find my higher purpose or why I'm here. I came here to do a specific thing, etc., and anything outside of that is not on this divine plan. And I can ask spirit or God or the universe, my spirit guides or whatever, for help, and they'll direct me, and the numbers and synchronicities or signs, etc. And the law of attraction stuff with Abraham Hicks, I did not understand, and I probably spent 3-4 years trying to figure it out. I could not manifest anything with the law of attraction. It was very difficult for me, and I was like, you know what, this isn't real, it doesn't exist. I'm here for one purpose, and I'm going through all of these hardships for a reason. That is what I wanted to say earlier. I'm going through all of these hardships for a reason. And then comes law of assumption, and I'm able to manifest things like that. And then I'm just confused. I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe everything is just a manifestation. Maybe it is just a simulation like everyone's talking about. Maybe I've just been manifesting having spirit guides. And then I'm like, what the fuck? I don't really like that. Thinking that it's actually simulation and it's just you and your creation and everyone is just robots and you control everyone with your mind and your thoughts. Basically, that's kind of the law of assumption community I was brought into. Well, I found myself through Reddit and other people on YouTube. And I just didn't understand it. And I was really confused for a while on like how, what about spirit and ghosts that I've seen or other beings that I've had interactions with? And other people around me have also seen these things. So I know it's not just me, but what if I'm just manifesting all of this stuff? And I was just so confused on everything. And it was like really lost for a while. And then I come across Dolores Cannon again. This is going to be a whole nother story because, so if you don't know who Dolores is, she was a hypnotherapist. I don't really know the dates because I haven't read her books. I just know of her because I came across her stories a few times. I really need to read her books, but so she developed QHHT, which is quantum hypnosis healing technique, which is basically how she came across this. She was a hypnotherapist putting people into states to, you know, help them with addictions or whatever. Basically, if you don't know what hypnotherapy is, that's what it is. You put someone into a trance so you're able to talk to their subconscious mind to alter their behaviors. If you have addictions, you can suggest to their subconscious mind when they're in a susceptible state that no, they do not have an addiction. The smell of cigarettes actually repulses you. So the more you do this, it's changing the chemistry of, it's like reprogramming their brain, in a word, in a scientific fashion. And then she would have clients that were regressing to different like past lives, and ETs or whatever were coming through these people. And a lot of people were like, oh, Dolores was making it up. How can you make up when your client is under hypnotherapy and another being is coming through, the same being is coming through different clients and telling you the exact same thing? It's like, you guys, come on. You can't believe that? Really? That's kind of weird. So obviously, like, I'm pretty sure, was it her or Brian Weiss? There's a lot of people who did past life regression work who were completely skeptical until they had reoccurring clients that were channeling other beings and getting all this information, or their client was living other lives and they were able to prove it. Like there's a few stories of people being in wars and then being able to remember the badge number, the aircraft number, in a hypnotherapy session. And then the hypnotherapist is like, there's no way, like this person is making it up. Later on Googles it, and that person, it was spot on. Like everything that person was saying was to a T. So that's kind of where the past life, also future life, also other beings, like I'm pretty sure, was it Nostradamus Dolores was in contact with, and also like the Greys and other dimensional beings are coming through. And so I'm like, okay, this makes sense because I've had my own experiences like this. This is going to be another video because I have seen some crazy things, been in some crazy places, and I feel like I'm being pushed to talk about these things, but you know, it doesn't really matter. The whole point is, this is how that side of the story ties into being able to create anything you want in your life. Everything made sense when I was listening to Dolores's work with other beings coming through her clients. It's interesting because it's like the same beings, like the Greys or whatever, coming through all of her clients. So you can argue with that if you want. Oh, that's not real. Well, I'm pretty sure it's real when she has over 100 clients, 100 different clients, and they're all connecting back to the same being. The same being is speaking through all these clients. Anyways, they're telling Dolores how creation works. Not creation, but how the universe works, what the laws are of Earth. And that is how I put two and two together. And I was like, okay, this totally makes sense. And then I also had my own past life regression the other day and was able to connect into that. And I had confirmation on everything, and everything is just, it makes sense now. And also Neville touched on this. The reason I didn't talk about Neville first was because I actually didn't read all of Neville's book. I'm not a Neville Goddard guru, which a lot of people are. I've listened to a lot of his lectures, I've listened to a lot of his testimonials, and I read one book. I have a huge book with all his books in it, but I only read one book from it. And then from then on, I just did my own thing and was able to manifest things like that. And I didn't continue reading his stuff because I was seeing how it worked with my own life, which I highly suggest you do. Don't take one person's way of manifesting. That's the only way things work. That's not true. Okay? There are infinite amount of realities and possibilities available that would blow your mind. But back to manifesting and creating. This video is kind of all over because I'm slightly nervous talking about this stuff because I've never talked about these things before, except with the lady who did it wasn't really past life regression, it's QHHT, BQH. I don't know how many of you know any of these terms. That's why I'm kind of just being broad with it. Anyways, I ended up going to past lives, future lives, parallel lives, and I asked clarity for some of these questions and they gave me clarity, which was awesome. Like, you can project your consciousness anywhere you want. This is how people like Nikola Tesla, artists back in the friggin' 1800s, all these people were able to create such magnificent things because they were able to tap into consciousness. Well, we are consciousness, but unlimited potential. When you sit in silence and let things flow to you, you get ideas for things that aren't even created here yet. That's the whole purpose, right? The thought comes before the object. Obviously, like if you think about it, how were vehicles invented? Obviously, the person had a thought to create it first, right? So why is it so hard to believe that, thinking about something is going to create it in our reality? That is literally how everything has been brought into reality. I think people just get really confused when people say manifesting and creating is just going to like come out of thin air. I'm going to manifest an apple in my hand. Boom, apple. I think that's what people think. Like the majority of people think when you say manifesting or creating. Now we're going to get into that part because from my side of the story, everything now fits in because spirit, other beings are telling us, yes, there are an infinite amount of timelines. So this is how they kind of gave me the picture and how it actually ties in with Dolores Cannon, with other people. Any past life regressionist will probably tell you the same thing, or hypnotherapist or spiritualist. Anyone who knows how the world works is going to tell you this. You can have an unlimited amount of realities depending on your mood. If you were going to be happy that day, it's going to turn out different than if you were mad that day or whatever, etc. And the universe moves things around depending on your frequency. And I'm still not saying the correct words. It's like this. There are an infinite amount of timelines. Let's just say timelines because it's easy to understand. Okay, so let's just say there's an infinite amount of timelines, right? Parallel realities. So let's just say in the morning, you wake up happy and you have a happy day and you have happy thoughts. So you're gonna be going down this way. Versus if you were like in a terrible mood, you don't get out of bed, nothing happens. You're gonna be over here. So depending on your mood and yada yada, your frequency is gonna be bringing in different events to happen. The universe, you work in accordance with the universe because everyone is connected to a consciousness. Whether it does not matter what you believe in, there's a higher power and we are all connected to it. That is the basics, okay? Of any religion, of science, we're all connected into something higher, okay? And we're all connected together. So you're putting out happy frequency, you're gonna get happy frequency back at you. Putting out shit frequency, you're gonna get shit frequency back at you. However, all of these are like lines. So this is how you're shifting your reality. Everything already exists. Science proves this, so I don't even need to go on a little argument about this. Everything exists already. You cannot create something, you cannot destroy something. Energy is just energy, okay? We learn that in engineering, okay? We learn that in math, like everything in science. Everything is just energy, it just transforms. Energy just transforms. You can't create, you can't destroy, it just changes. That is a solid fact. So people saying we are creating, no, we're not. We are shifting our frequency to the version of us at that time that already has it. So say you're over here and you want to manifest a text or whatever. All you're doing is shifting your frequency so that you're on that radio station that already has it. Think of it like radio waves. It's basically everything is in terms of frequency and light, and energy and matter is frequency. So you're in the frequency of lack, of not having what you want. You're going to be down over here, versus you shifting it and you will receive it. But it's not you're creating it, you're just embodying the frequency of you that already has it. Therefore, you are shifting the frequency, the radio dial, to where you have it. I'm hoping this makes sense. And for the things of coming here for a divine plan, this is where I was really confused. There are certain things, certain big things that we agree upon before reincarnating into a human body. So you can do whatever the heck you want, but it doesn't matter if you end up over here or over here. There's going to be a big crossing here that no matter where you are or what you manifested or created or whatever you want to call it, you're still going to go through that moment because that was something you needed to go through, or that you knew before you incarnated here that you were going to go through. Big things such as world events, all of these things happening in the world, we are going through these as a collective. We cannot manifest that those didn't happen. They are happening on our timeline because our consciousness is here now. We're projecting our consciousness here right now. You can jump around and have fun, but there are certain events that are going to happen either way. I hope that makes sense. That was really long, but the whole point is that yes, it doesn't matter if you believe we have a divine plan. We can hop around. We can still get whatever it is that we want. If you want that person to text you, if you want to be with that specific person, you can be with that specific person. You need to embody the frequency, and you can do that with affirmations or visualization. That's going to be a different video because it's a long video, but I just wanted you guys to understand the basics of how everything is tying in together. I need to add this. This is super important. Just because you can, and I'm going to just say create for lack of better terms, I guess, but it's not creating, it already is. This is super important. You're not creating anything. It already exists. You just need to change the frequency of yourself. That's it. Embody the frequency, the version of you that already has it. And Neville says this as well. Just because, and this is where I'm going to differ from a lot of law of assumption people, because this is not just law of assumption. This is universal basics. This is the fundamentals of how the universe works. We have put a piece of our consciousness into a meat suit to experience what it would be like in this perspective. That is, that's a great way to put it. But yes, this is true. That is exactly what being here on Earth is. This is our perspective. That is why you can experience whatever you want, and it can be different from everyone else because this is your perspective. This is just a fragment. You are a fragment of infinite consciousness experiencing a meat suit. Okay, we're spiritual beings experiencing a human experience. So yes, you can be in a perspective to have anything you want. But that being said, just because you can create it, experience it, doesn't necessarily mean it's for the best. Neville talks about this too, going to the end. There was one lecture and he is saying, don't worry about the man. If you want to get married, focus on what it would be like to be married. Don't focus on that person because there can be someone better out there for you. And this is what I want to talk about because yeah, I've manifested exactly what I wanted. Word for word by people, just to kind of prove to myself that I could do it. And now I understand that, well, yeah, you can do anything. You just need to embody the frequency. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to like it because after I did that, because I thought I wanted to be with that person, I should have just focused on the end of being in a happy, healthy, committed relationship. Not, oh, this person is obsessed with me. This person is blowing up my phone every day. Which you can. There's no problem with that. But from my perspective, I'm saying it's, if you really want to be in a healthy, committed relationship, focus on being in a healthy, committed relationship and focus on your self-concept. Don't just focus on manifesting a specific person or a specific amount of money, because I have done that. I've gotten a certain amount of money, didn't have any self-concept, blew it right away. Same with the person. I didn't have any self-concept. So every time something went wrong in the 3D, I kept doing my affirmations. They're messaging me again. They're messaging me again. They're obsessed with me. That backfired on me because they got obsessed with me. And it was like, holy shit, I don't want this. This is not what I want. And then it was like a complete opposite relationship. First, it was like me chasing this person. And then it flipped really fast. And then I just really didn't want it. And before I even started practicing these things, I really wanted this person. I had low self-esteem. I felt like I wasn't attractive enough to have this person. And it flipped so fast that I was like, block, 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 block. Yeah. Okay, so that's why it just depends on your affirmations. If you really believe that you were meant to be with this person and you can't see yourself with anyone else, manifest for that person. But make sure you're saying things that you actually want. This is what I'm going to say about that. And on this channel, I think, I'm going to talk about how you can manifest from specific people because it's so fun to be like, holy, I did that. And it's not manifesting. It's just shifting to the version of you that already has it. Because this is what needs to be drilled into your head. My guides are saying this. You like to repeat this. Everything already exists. You are just shifting to the version of yourself that already has it. You cannot create out of thin air. Creation is finished. If you believe in God, God already made all possibilities. So that is why we can experience bad things, because God, or the consciousness, the universe, whatever your belief is, because really this embodies everyone. This is just the fundamentals of Earth, okay? Everything exists. Everything. You choose what you want to experience. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Everything already exists. You, as a conscious being, choose to perceive what you want to perceive. You get to choose what you want to experience. Okay? No one else is choosing for you. This is your reality. This is your perceived world. So perceive what you want to perceive. And do you know how you do that? You go within and you decide what you want to perceive. This is how it's done. And there are many ways to do so, but God already created. Everything's already created. You just are shifting. It's like a radio dial. You're just shifting the frequency of you to already having it. That's it. However, just because you can do it doesn't mean it's meant for you or it's for your highest good. From my experience, I was doing things that I probably shouldn't have. I should have just left them alone, but I just wanted to prove to myself that I could manifest and get this person or get this text or get this amount of money. Whereas now I look back and I realize I should have been working on my self-concept and on the end goal. Okay, the end goal is very important. What do you really want? Like, what do you want to do with your life? Do you want to have fun? Do you want to be in a healthy, committed relationship? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to have a healthy relationships with your children? Do you want to have a successful business? The video is already way too long. But that is what I wanted to talk about, was how it ties in, what manifestation really is, what creation really is. It just is. It already is. We're just tuning our frequency to what we want to experience. So that is the end of that. I'm going to be talking about, I think I will be talking about manifesting specific texts from people, because I have gotten very good at that, getting people to say exactly what I want. It's a little weird. It's a fun experiment, I will say that, but don't put all your eggs in one basket, okay? We're going to be talking about going to the end state, but just for the sake of fun, we're going to be talking about that. So I hoped that helped clear things up. The belief system does not matter. It doesn't. It's the fundamentals of the universe. Well, of this Earth. This is how Earth works. We have free will to choose what we want to experience. And there are some major things that we are meant to go through as a collective consciousness that we cannot change. However, we can shift together. We can shift things together. I'm talking about big things like the pandemic and things like that we're going to experience regardless of what we choose to attune our frequency to, because it's a collective thing. But other than that, yes, we can experience whatever we want. We have free will to choose whatever we want. That's the end of that. I really, really, really hope that helped make sense, because for me, it was like a light bulb moment coming from the spiritual side and not fully understanding, oh, well, then where do guides and angels and God and ascended masters, where does that come into play if everything's a manifestation? Everything is just a creation of our own thought. No, that's not actually how it is. Everything is already created, and yes, there are different dimensions and frequencies and other beings and other planetary systems and other civilizations. Obviously, period. I need to put that. However, when we choose to incarnate a fragment of our consciousness into a meat suit here, we have free will to perceive whatever we want. Everything is already created. We get to choose what we want to experience. Let me say that again. We as humans, we as spiritual beings in a human body, choose what we get to experience. And I need to add, there's nothing good or bad. Everything is a learning lesson for us. Everything. It's all learning lessons, good and bad. Yes, so this video is way too long. Apologies, but I needed to talk about that. Anyways, I'm sending each and every one of you so much love and light and happiness and fun. You guys, stop taking life so seriously. I know it's easier said than done, but remember, it's kind of a game. We die, okay? So stop taking things so seriously. We're not here forever. We're actually here for such a short amount of time. When you're about to die, you look back and you're like, holy shit, that happened so fast. So please, please, please remember to enjoy life, and remember that you get to consciously choose what you want. And we can get through this together. If you're in a bad spot in life, which obviously all of us have been in, and you're in a rut, which yes, we've all been in ruts, you're gonna get out of it. I promise you. Nothing, good or bad, lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. You are going to get through this. You are going to experience what you want to experience. We just need to tune your tuner. Cut that. Just, you know what I'm talking about. We need to tune the frequency of your dial to the frequency of what you want to experience. Anyways, with so much love and light and blessings, you guys, I will talk to you in the next video.